Hello, I'm Greg, co-founder from undo.io, and we're going to play Doom. But we're going to play it a little bit differently. We're going to prefix the command line with LiveRecorder here, and then we're going to see exactly what the program did. So I'm just going to start a new game. And by generating this recording, you'll see how I can step through code with which I'm completely unfamiliar. I know one thing about this, which we'll get to in a minute, and understand it and see what happens. So let's just shoot these zombies. You can see I'm not much of a gamer. Okay, that'll do. Let's stop there. So what have we got now? So we've got this .undo file that I created here through LiveRecorder, which is the recording and the program execution, everything that happened, every line of code that executed, every piece of data as it flowed through the program. I can load that up into my favorite debugger. I'm going to load it up into VS Code here, and we can take a look at it. So there's the file that I just created. Load that up. And so, yeah, up it comes to the end. We can see we're at the end of time here. Now, I said there's one thing I know about this program, and using that one piece of knowledge and the program recording, I'm going to navigate through time to the exact line of code where I killed that zombie. So the one thing I know is that there's a thing called iVideo buffer, which is a 300 by 200 pix map of the video buffer. So I can show that. So this is the end of the recording, and let's zoom in a bit, and we can see. So I've just killed my zombies. Let's take one of the pixels. I see the pixels down here at the bottom. So if I take that, there's some nice dark red blood. So that's 187.98. 187.98. So that pixel there, if I go PI video buffer, so I index it like that, and that is a bit of red. So I can now go last $1. That will go back to when that location in memory last changed. So that's probably quite interesting, right? 'Cause that's the point where that pixel changed color. So if I want to find the line of code where the zombie died, maybe that's a good place to start. That's generally what we do here. We're following the data flow and the code flow through the program. So, okay, so we're in a function called draw column. That seems reasonable as the pixels being updated. I can look up the call stack and I can see, there's a thing called sprite here, which I think that's quite interesting. It's got some coordinates, x1 and x2. So maybe if I go last sprite x1, that will take me back to the time when that sprite last moved. That sounds quite a useful point in my investigation. So here we go. So I was at the end, then I was at 99%. Now I've gone back to 96% of the way through. I'm in something called project sprite. And what have we got here? Well, it's got a thing called thing. Maybe that's kind of interesting. What does a thing contain? It's got some coordinates and it's got various properties, and it's got a property of health. Health -10, so probably not very healthy. Well, let's just keep doing this. Keep pulling that thread. Keep going through, filling the data flow through. So if I go last thing health, now we're going to go back through history to 78% of the way through the recording, and it was -10 and now it's 5. So I've gone back in time from when it was -10 to when it's 5, which is the moment in time when it became dead, I think. So let's have a look at the video buffer here. So show frame I video buffer 320 by 200. And we can zoom in a bit and look at that. That's just its last moment when it was a positive value of health, just before I shot it. So we've seen how I can navigate through that totally unfamiliar code base. I was jumping around following the flow of the data. If I want to kind of zoom in and see things a bit more clearly, we can like step forward line by line here in a normal kind of debugger way. But I can also step backwards, which is so it's very powerful for seeing, and as I step through, I see all the data changes and everything like that. So yeah, hope that was interesting for you. See how we can navigate that unfamiliar code base, complex code base with ease when we got recording and very small bits of knowledge about the code. Yeah, so that's it. Bye-bye for now.